reason why poke is strong on certain maps is usually because there is so much space that Brawl would have to cross in order to get value, that poke is really good at like shooting you from really, really far away. So they benefit a lot from that extra space and that those really, really long, nice sight lines. Kings Row doesn't notoriously have super long sight lines. It's a few that are okay, but it's not known for being like a poke map, right? Also, poke usually benefits a lot from long range angles. Most of the angles on Kings Row are usually short range angles, right? So I would definitely say that our comp is vastly superior to theirs. Okay. So what are some things that we need to be looking for in terms of like a weakness in their comp that we can punish or a strength of their comp that we need to watch out for? Let's start with some weaknesses. What are some weaknesses that they have? Okay, harder for them to peel, sure. I don't see anything wrong with saying that. Anything else?
If
There
we
would
run at them
probably
in a
be
straight line, we win.
If we what?
If we run at them, we win.
Sure. If we run at them in a straight line, we win. Yeah, hopefully they're in a straight line as well, right? If we try to run at them and they've taken angles, we're not going to win, right? So we need to watch out for that. Anything else?
some of them are probably be isolated and alone, mainly their widow.
Yeah, because they're going to be taking angles, sure. Another thing that's important to note, they don't have a goddamn Lucio, which means we get to speed. So Lucio's speed amp, Bastion turret form, and Maywall all have something in common. And the thing that they have in common is they have the ability to set tempo. And what that means is that they have the ability to choose when they want to go first and when they want to go second, right? For example, if May wants to go first, I can wall you off, and that allows my team to engage, and I'm forcing our team to go first over your team, right? Bastion turret form, for example. Bastion turret form can say, hey, we're going to go first by swinging with Bastion turret form. That cooldown gives me the option. Hey, we're going to go first by speed amping in onto you, right? But it also has the opposite effect. Oh, you want to engage first? We're going to counter wall you. We'll let you engage and then wall you. We'll let you engage and then turret form. We'll let you engage and then speed amp away to kite you and then come back in with like turret form and stuff like that, right? So we have the ability to control tempo way more than their team does. We have the ability to hard engage way harder than they can. So as long as we're holding our shield up and worrying about like their strengths are they have a lot of range damage that we need to watch out for, right? And we need to make sure that we don't get angled on. Okay? So we need to watch out for angles, and we need to make sure that we're using our shield really, really well and rotating very cleanly, or else this Widow might be able to get a headshot every once in a while, which is really, really bad. Bad for our team, right? Nice. Great kill. So this is an example where it might seem a little bit unorthodox, but I think if you guys would actually move to the right side, this Widow just fails to get value. If we, like, it's very natural to play around this space on King's Row attack, but if you stand over here, the Widow can see you, right? I really like our Lucio going up and clearing this. This also works too. But if your Lucio's not willing to go up there because there's some sort of fight going on here, I would say walk closer to the right side, open up this angle, play more towards this wall where the Widow's going to struggle to shoot you. Okay? So that would be like an answer to that Widow angle without us needing to send our Lucio up there. But I think our Lucio going up there is completely fine. Okay. In this position, our Reinhardt should be doing nothing but holding shield. Don't swing your hammer. There's nothing to hit, right? So just hold your shield up, block for your squishies. No. Everybody just chill, right?
I gotta teach us Adams a lesson, man. Come on.
True.
They're just sitting there.
Just fighting as demons.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to be extremely careful here. Extremely, extremely careful. In this position, there's no point really fighting down this lane currently, you could argue, because the payload hasn't even reached the area that we're fighting for. So if we as a team can help our Lucio by shooting this and marking this, I'd much rather prefer that than us shooting over here. Because in this instance, it's basically a 1v1 between a Lucio and a Widow. Versus if we have 5 people over here shooting this, right? We don't really care about these guys yet, because what are they going to do? Walk through this arch onto us? Right? If they do that, we just win. Like, thank you for walking into our team. We're Ryan Brawl with May Bastion. We accept that. So they're going to chill back here. We can take the 5v1 on the Widow. Now Widow can't peek, so our Lucio's not in danger. And then we can do that until the payload moves to about here, and then that's when, as a 5, we hard stack and we go push our as a team, as a full stack, right? Yeah, I would like see our Bastion and our Bap are helping out a little bit. This is nice, right? But this I don't like at all. This I don't like at all. We get the kill, that's amazing, right? Good job. But we jump up in the air, nice little trajectory, and we also have to use our regenerative burst in order to get the kill on the Widow because we're scared, right? Which we should be. It's a Widow. So I don't like the idea of our BAP jumping up like this. It makes it really, really easy for a good Widowmaker to hit the shot. Obviously they missed, but we shouldn't even be taking those chances. We should be marking this Widow way better as a team. We don't want to be taking ego 1v1s with that character. Managed to win that, that's fine. Now he's stable. Whoa. Okay. Once we've killed this Widow, there's no reason for us to rush this engage. We've already killed the Widow. They're down an entire player, right? So all we should focus on right now is my Bastion should be saying, hey, can we stable? I need HP, right? Because our Bastion's one shot. So this is not the right time to rip turret form, right? We need to get him to full HP first, and then we're good to go, right? And also, our pathing here is a little bit awkward. I would rather have, if we're hard focusing on the Orisa, I would rather have our Bastion go this way and have our Reinhardt swing like this versus our Bastion going this way and then having to turn to the right to shoot Orisa. The difference between going out the left side of the payload or the right side is that on the right side, you can get shot and crossfired like this. On the left side, you can't get shot by these guys because they can't see you because of this wall right here. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, walls are pretty cool.
Yeah. So as a general rule of thumb, if you're able to swing a little bit wider, you can use like this area as cover, which is really, really nice. So now if you're playing here, the Orisa is just in a straight up 1v5, right? It's just 5 people versus Orisa. Versus if we go here, and let's say that this Orisa is like a good player, they use their cooldowns well, they trade out your turret form for a javelin spin, and then they go into their gold, right? And they're going to be really, really hard to kill. If she can just buy our attention for a little bit, if she can drag our aggro onto her for a little bit, we all know that even without like a bunch of heals, Orisa is really, really hard to kill, right? So if we all stand here and turn and focus the Orisa, there is genuinely a world where she hits some sort of javelin spear and kills our Bastion. Or somebody over here kills our Bastion or kills like our Baptiste or hits a headshot somewhere. So we want to avoid situations where we're in between their team and peeking multiple angles when we don't need to. You see how here our Bastion actually was hard focused on the backline? We shouldn't be focusing on the backline when we can just force out the Orisa, right? So we should be doing that very, very slow. If there's one thing you take away from today, it's going to be this, okay? When you are up in resources, you play slow. And when you are down in resources, you play fast. Okay? This isn't always going to be the correct answer every single time. I'm not claiming that. But it's going to be a good answer majority of the time. And it's good as a starting foundation about understanding game state in Overwatch. That'll get you on the right path. So what that basically means is that if we manage to get a pick, let's say, for example, hey, we start the fight and we're the first one to get a pick. We pick off the Widow. That means that we should play slow and we should play conservative and we should stable and we should not try to get kills. We should not focus on taking space. We're only going to do that when our team is ready for it. So most of the time in this game, you're not just going to get a free pick on Widow, or you're not going to get a free pick on any character in this game. Most of the time, if you're playing at a decent level of Overwatch, right? What's going to end up happening is that you might get a pick, and that might be amazing. Maybe we hit a great Mei wall, and we get that pick. That's sick, and that's obviously very, very good, but we had to use Mei wall to do it, right? Let's say we wall off their tank, and we kill their tank in an Overwatch game, right? Maybe it costs us our wall. Maybe it costs us our speed amp. Maybe it costs us our rock and our regenerative burst, and it costs us a lot of cooldowns where, yes, we got the kill, and that's really, really good, but it wasn't for free, right? We had to use some sort of resource in order to confirm that kill. Most of the time, you don't just get kills for free in this game. If you do, you're playing against bad players. That shouldn't be happening, right? So if we manage to get a kill on somebody, it's a really good rule of thumb to say, hey, we had to use something. We had to use some resources to get that kill. Let's play really, really slow. Let's stable. Let's get all of our cooldowns back. Let's get everybody back to full HP. We want to make sure that we just don't die. That's the number one thing. None of us should be dying. So that's how you avoid situations like this, where your Bastion's liable to die, right? Because you're not putting yourself in a position where dying is possible. You're using your numbers advantage to confirm your own safety, and then you slowly push forward. You slowly push forward. That's why I said when you're high in resources, you push slow. For the opposite reason, right? When you're down in resources, you need to play fast. If you lose your Widow here, that's even more of a reason for your team to go in aggressively. Play fast, take angles, make a hero play, do something unexpected. Because if you either want to play fast by going in really aggressively, or you want to play fast by choosing to disengage really aggressively, right? The faster and more aggressive you play, the more chances you're going to have to get a surprising solo pick or to equalize the loss that you had here. So if we lose our Widow and blue team goes in aggressively, maybe they kill our Bastion and they manage to equalize. And now it's a 4v4. So now blue team's able to play the game because they played really aggressive, played really quickly. Maybe they don't kill our Bastion, right? Maybe blue team does the correct macro where they go in really fast and they actually don't get a kill. That's still okay. Because the faster you play and the more aggressive you play, the faster you're going to die if it doesn't work. And the faster you die, the less you're staggered. So it's a win-win, right? You're going to lose the fight, but you're losing in the best way possible. You're losing on your own terms. So up in resources, play slow, right? Down in resources, play fast. Go for those risky plays. Go for those hero plays. Nice wall. Okay. They use turret form, so now, just like we said before, we should be stabling, right? So, for example, this is a misplay. I would claim, right? So, can anybody here tell me, is the fight over when the Orisa dies? Kind of. I was asking more in like a vacuum, but I can accept that question. I can accept that question. Look, our Lucio actually dies here. So what I would say is we shouldn't be peeking the Widow in the first place, right? But I agree with you. I don't think you gave a bad answer. So I should have phrased it better. What I will say here is that if both teams are playing ideal Overwatch, which we hopefully should be, and not peek the Widow, right? We also should hopefully be holding our shield to block the Widow or block the Bastion. We should be using our wall to absorb the Bastion, stuff like that. Then we want to make sure that we are playing slow. Just like I was saying before, right? If we end up killing the Orisa, the fight should basically be over, right? If this Orisa's dead, and we play slow and we play stable and we have our cooldowns and we have full HP and we allow them to play slow and have their cooldowns and have full HP, that's good for us and bad for them. Even though they have their cooldowns and they have their HP, so do we, and we have 5 people and you have 4. 5 is better than 4 every single time, right? So if we can play slow, this fight should be over, which means we should not be doing this, which is windowing. Because we don't need this window now, we're going to need it here when the next fight occurs to create space for our Blizzard to get value, for our Bastional to get value, to trade it for different cooldowns, right? So this window here is wasted because we shouldn't need this window to win the fight because there's nothing to shoot anymore. They're all backing up because their Orisa's dead. The fight is over. We have won. We've capped and we've done a great job, right? Now this is where we messed up. We just hold W into a Widow. And that's not because Widow is supposed to be able to do this, it's because we made a mistake. Okay? So we shouldn't have windowed here, and we also shouldn't have held W into Widow. Gotta be very, very, very careful of Widow. Always respect Widow. So we're gonna regroup as a team, all good. So there isn't necessarily an advantage of playing in this space. This is actually a very big disadvantage. You're just trapped now. You're much better off just playing main and having all of this space available to you and possibly having a DPS swing this way, right? So, yeah, not a huge fan of us stacking in this little space over here. Now your Bastion feels so uncomfortable to try to come back to the fight, right? So, a little bit wonky, but that's okay. Okay. What do you guys think the correct play here is?
I don't know, honestly.
Any ideas? What should we do here?
I mean, all collapse on Alari, but
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would probably say best play we can make here. We don't have a composition. Whoops, Epic Pen's lagging. We don't have a composition to reach Widow. Oh my god. Wait, are you guys still able to hear me?
I can hear you
Yeah, we
now.
can hear you.
You're like robot earlier.
Really? Okay. Hopefully it's good. Anyways, we don't really have a composition that can effectively reach their Baptiste to reach their Widow. If we try to push the objective, then we're allowing ourselves to get angled, which doesn't feel very good. So I would probably say just disengage, turn, kill the Alari for free. Alari has absolutely zero means of disengage here. She cannot escape. She is a confirmed kill. If we can kill this Alari and we come back, right? We have this coming up, we have this coming up, we have this coming up, and it's going to be a 5v4. Guaranteed 5v4, which I would like to take those chances. So what happens here is I think actually one of us dies because they just angle on us and we end up dying. And now we don't have our Bastion, and now we don't have our BAP, right? So in this situation, don't keep pushing the payload and don't do this. Just turn as a team for the Alari. When we are playing the Rhine composition, number one thing you should think about is playing as a team. And you have to play as a team for every comp, but with the Rhine comp, you really have to play as a team. You have to stack like at all times. You have to make the same rotations together. You have to make the same decisions together, right? It's very, very different. Okay. So here, this fight's over. We should take the L fast and get out. Regroup as a team. Okay. End up using our ult on something. I'm not sure what. Okay. Uh-oh. This can't happen. Okay. When you guys as DPS notice these cracks in your Rhine shield, be extremely careful about swinging wide. This means that your Reinhardt shield is very, very low HP. So when that thing is cracking like that, especially like this, it means it's right about to break. Okay. So as a general rule of thumb, we also shouldn't be letting this break. So our Rhine should not be swinging in the first place, our Bastion should not be swinging in the first place, and our Mei should not be swinging at all. Because the only reason why our Bastion should be swinging is because we have a shield to use for our Bastion turret form, and we clearly do not. So what we should be doing right now is AFKing around this corner, waiting for our shield to be at 1400 maximum, right? That's what we need. And then we can swing with turret form once we're ready, and once we have speed amp, and once we have wall, and all these different things, right? We have the ability to decide when we want to go in and when we don't want to go in. They do not have that ability, right? Their team does not want to rush in on us and punish us for AFKing. They can't. Their Widow can't rush in, right? They don't have a Lucio. Their Ana can't rush in. They don't want to walk into us. If they do that, we would be very happy. So there's no reason for us to rush engages because they can't even force us to rush engages. If we do something wrong in terms of tempo, it is completely on us because our comp is what controls it, not theirs. Head a little bit, okay. Use a window here. Nice job blocking the anti. Too bad. Nice. Uh-oh. That's not good. This is when I would honestly say, I think you guys would have just so much easier of a time if you just swapped to Symmetra. Like, I don't
What,
care if you
for
swap the
Bastion?
Mei or if you swap the Bastion. It doesn't matter to me. Just put a Symmetra in your composition. TP on this Ana, she dies. TP on this Widow, she's gone. Like, you can burn Orisa as well with Sim. I just think it makes it so much easier if you guys make that swap, but it's definitely still playable. Definitely still playable. So now we should be looking to win with Shatter and Beat and Blizzard. We need to be playing around our ultimates, so let's see how this goes. A Shatter. Oh. Okay, we do end up getting the kill, but for like a general rule of thumb, when you shatter somebody here, you can just pin them off the map
I don't think
for
I
a free
had
kill.
them.
That's really, really fast. Their BAP is doing a good job taking like a really, really Good off angle. Nice wall. Really, really good wall by your May. That's huge. Nice. Good job. Really, really, really good job. I like that you guys kind of flipped the map a little bit here. I like that you guys committed to the payload and you all stacked behind your Rhine shield, and that's how it should look, right? So even if their BAP is here, even if their Widow's here, even if their On is here, if we just stack behind our Rhine shield and we just stare at them, they can't do anything to us, right? That is the beauty of shield usage. And we didn't even have a lot of shield there either. We just like played that really, really well. So good job. Okay, we've talked about most of the important stuff. So we should be able to breeze through this pretty quickly. Okay, never, ever, ever, ever hold here. Always hold here.
Yeah, he's at the play around hotel.
Yeah.
We didn't
Okay,
want to make him mad.
Well, probably not a
I
huge
apparently need to
but-
watch what I say about coaches because last time I said something it was bad. So yeah. No.
Yeah,
Just
I know
no.
that coaching's
You
probably
play
not a
here.
good excuse, but yeah, we were
No, no, no.
trying to
It's
play
no.
hard
That's a
all
perfectly fine excuse. If your coach told you to do something, listen to the coach. That's okay. I'm telling you now not to. You play here. You play here as a default regardless of their composition, but you especially play here if they have Widow Alari. It's like you're just gonna lose. Like you're just gonna lose.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know the secret to winning with your guys' composition in your elo? You play this corner. If they go statue, you don't give a fuck, right? When they push in, let them push in and go kite back to here. You know what's going to happen after they push in? They're going to use every single cooldown they have to cross this space or cross from here to here, and they're going to end up on the objective. You know what every objective in Overwatch is? Open space. So they're going to use everything they have. They're going to use their shield cooldown, their javelin spin, their gold, their speed. Like everything that they have is going to be used just to get here. And we're going to laugh at them and we're going to go back here. We're going to hard stable in this little square. We're just going to chill and cover. We're not going to peek anything. And then once they've reached the objective and they've ran out of resources, they've ran out of juice, that's when we're going to say, hi, welcome to my Maywall and my turret form and my speed amp, and you're going to fucking die. And then you kill them, and they're going to be like, huh, I wonder how we died. And they're going to keep doing it. They're going to bash their heads against a brick wall. You guys are going to win every single scrim on King's Row. Yay. Overwatch, right? So that is literally all you have to do. This setup is not good. I will say that. I'll be very nice about it. It is not good. This fight's probably over. Yep. Okay, we're moving on. Oh. Valiant effort. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's over. Unfortunate. Recontesting first point is quite difficult. The best way to do it, if you do end up losing a fight here and you somehow think you have a chance to recontest, always give them 2 ticks. Always give them 2 ticks. If you rush this recontest, you are turbo done. Like, you have to give them ticks to fully stabilize as a team. Okay, we are... Like, guys, just run away. We're down 2. Just back up. Do not fight. Do not take any poke. Do not do any damage. Just run away, stack as a team, and you'll be fine. Your Bastion might just die here. And he dies. Now we are staggered even more. That's going to lead to the bot going all the way over to here for free. We are down a Bastion. See what I mean? See how far the payload gets? Because we're down Bastion. So we cannot stagger with this comp. Which that should never happen because, keep in mind, the main rule of this comp is to always stack as a team. Were we stacked as a team? Absolutely not. So we broke the first rule. Broke the first rule of Ryan Brawl. Nice window fire strike. I like the creativity. It's really, really good. You know, I don't think I've ever told a team this. I need to think about this. Yeah, I don't think I've ever told this to a team, but like, I wouldn't have hated if we took an angle like this, to be honest. Very, very cramped position, but I don't think I would have hated it because if you play main here, it's a little bit awkward with the Widow here. So you would have to go for like some sort of wall here, or you would just have to hold your shield and let your team like force out Orisa. I guess that's not too bad. Not too bad. It's a little bit awkward with the Widow macro. Uh-oh, that's a big ultimate. Good try. Good try. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. So this is something that you'll find a lot. This happens a lot on dive maps. Actually, is usually the transition from first point to second point is just super easy for the attacking team. That's something that you'll find very commonly in Overwatch in scrims and stuff. If you get staggered a single time or you fuck up a single fight on second point of any map, it's oftentimes really hard to like kind of catch your breath and get a really good recontest back into the fight. So usually people just make it to the end of the map like for free, and then here's where the real fighting starts. Is like once they make it to third point and they got a cap, you know. Let's see. Nice, good job. The second we kill Orisa and we notice that this guy is using Torbolt, just hard stable. Remember what we talked about earlier? If you get a pick, you play slow. If you get picked, you play fast. I should not see a situation where our Mei gets this low and is speaking. You should die here. If this guy and this guy have opposable thumbs, we should die here, and we don't die. Which, if we lose our Mei here, it might have bigger consequences than we might realize. Their Orisa might just come back faster, and then we end up dying. Like right here, my Bastion's walking in front of my Rhine. Little stuff like this, I'm telling you, genuinely matters. I need you guys to be disciplined. Every single time we get a kill, just practice this habit of hard stabling and playing very slow. Play as safe as you possibly can. And then once you get better at the game and we get better at stabling, get better at stacking, and we stop staggering so much, then you guys can start to like experiment in those situations where maybe you can get an extra kill. Maybe you can greed for that extra stagger. You can play a little bit faster, even though you got a pick. Okay. But for right now, let's just focus on being disciplined. It will help a lot, I promise you. Okay, Reinhardt's ego in through the window. Don't mind that. Not too bad. The speed would need to be a little bit sooner. If we are committing to walk through a window with Rein Shield, our Reinhardt is essentially on a timer, right? Like that shield's not going to last forever. So we either need to dip the fuck out, right? Or we need to go in really aggressively, right? So in this instance, if we're gonna hard aggress and we're committed to doing that, if your Reinhardt's actively walking through the window, pop your beat a lot earlier because we're committing with our Reinhardt while they have shield. If we beat when our Reinhardt doesn't have shield, it's still gonna not feel very good. So want to try to coordinate that with our Rein engage. Ooh, this is ambitious. Nice kills. This is definitely ambitious though. I don't know how I feel about this. All right, we're almost done with King's Row. Been about 30 minutes. I'll be moving on to the other map soon. Did you guys end up winning this map? Looks like you do.
I think we did.
I think
Yeah, on
I-
scrim
Gotcha.
time.
Okay.
They capped a footy.
I had a little bit. Oh, big fight. Let's see what happens here. Oh, okay. Best thing that we can do here, right? Okay, one of the worst things you can do usually as Reinhardt is when you get a Orisa ulted, you hold your shield because your shield does not block Orisa ult, and people still think it does. One thing that your shield will block though is a Lari ult. So in this scenario, I would say try to play to block the Lari ult here if you're the Rein player, to make sure that like nobody gets ulted. But we actually stable really well. I'm pretty impressed. This looks quite good.
Alright,
Be
can I
careful. Be
complain real
careful. Be
quick?
careful. Be careful.
Wait, can you go back?
Yeah,
Can you
what's
go
up?
back?
Yeah.
I want to see that Arisa if she had golden up or not. Because this fucking coach, he was screaming at me to pop shatter here. It was so annoying. Because I swear to God, he was golden when I
To
shattered.
do what?
To shatter. I
To
swear
shatter
to
the
God.
Orisa?
Yeah, I swear to God, he was in golden. Can you like look at it real quick? It was after her ult and all that. It
Okay.
was-
Sky, are you still here? Sky?
Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, I was like,
Who the
I'm,
fuck?
I'm like making.
Who the
food.
fuck is telling my players to shatter Orisa ult?
No, it wasn't
don't
Arisa
know.
ult. It was after
Wasn't
that.
me. It
It was
wasn't me. It
after
was
the
not
ult.
me. I
Yeah.
not me.
It was said he said
Wait, what?
something like Arisa no golden shatter when she had golden up. I was really. It was a few seconds after, like before I shattered.
You're saying he was saying to shatter after the Orisa ulted.
Yeah.
Okay, that dude, I thought you were saying he was telling you to shatter Orisa
No,
and
no,
ult,
no, no, no.
and I was gonna lose my shit.
He was saying shatter.
Oh yeah, she has gold.
Probably like now, yeah.
Yeah, she has gold. So shattering is
I mean, I got
fine.
it was
It
a
doesn't
big shatter.
like
So.
you don't have to just shatter to only hit Orisa. So I'm not gonna like shit on the coach without knowing context, but like usually you would like to shatter when Orisa does not have gold. That's like a one of the most common things you track in the Reinhardt versus Orisa like battle.
Yeah, sorry. I've been
But
taking notes the
if
whole time, so like
yeah,
I've been concentrating on the notes. Yeah.
yeah, if you can get a big shatter on their backline, then that's fine to go for it, even if she still has gold. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that the coach is necessarily wrong about that. What I would say is I don't necessarily think that it's something that you coach people on about like how to use shatter. Shatter is something that is not something that applies by certain rules. Shatter is kind of like Lucio beat a lot of the time. Like shatter is an ultimate that you kind of just use whenever you feel like you're going to get value out of it. It's a very like game sense like knee jerk type of thing where you got to just trust your Rhine player to know when the situation looks good. Like I think the shatter's like probably fine. I don't have a huge problem with it. I think it's okay. All right. Let's move on to what's the other map you guys wanted to look at? Let me check that out real quick.
Shambali.
Shambali.
So like
Ooh
the notes
boy.
I have right now for you guys so far.
Mhm.
Well, I was kind of in a I was halfway in a comp game when we started.
Yeah.
So it's get a it's the first one is get a pick. You play slow. You get picked. You play fast.
Yeah. Yes.
Stay together.
That's
You're holding hands, and you swing wide with speed wall and turret every single time.
You don't always have to swing wide. I wouldn't say that. It's just in that scenario, it would be better to swing wide. Usually, it's natural to swing wide because if there's a corner like this and you have an enemy that's right here, then if you don't swing wide, you end up close to the enemy. Versus if you swing like this, you end up far away from the enemy. And most times
Cool.
in this game, it's good to be far away from enemy tanks versus to be close to enemy tanks.
Okay, maybe not swing wide, but like make sure you have like these abilities before you engage.
Yeah, I would say that like the way that I don't know if I coached you guys on this, but I've coached a lot of teams on the idea of basically looking like at Kings Row, I use it as a great example of basically thinking of every single corner on the map as a little checkpoint for you. You guys know like when people run marathons, they have those little like drinking stations that hand out water. That's basically what I want you guys to visualize the game as, right? So if we're playing Ryan here, for example, keep in mind you wouldn't be playing Ryan here, but let's just pretend, right? You know, we're gonna play Ryan and we're gonna use our cooldowns, we're gonna use our shield, we're gonna use everything that we have to reach this corner, and then we're gonna chill and we're gonna take a little breather. Gonna get a drink of water, kick our feet back, relax a little bit, get all of our cooldowns back in AFK, and then we're gonna push to this corner. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna AFK, we're gonna chill. Then we're gonna push to this corner. And then we're gonna go to this corner. And then we're gonna go to that corner. And you repeat that process, and then you win the game of Overwatch. Pretty crazy concept, am I right? So the way it works is you shouldn't be taking space and you shouldn't be peeking with that Rhine comp. You shouldn't be actively trying to engage with the enemy team and inviting that damage unless you're ready for it. Which, if we don't have our shield and we don't have our turret form and we don't have our wall and we don't have our amp and we don't have our IMO, why are we doing it? Right? We are the Rhine comp. We have the ability to stabilize on a corner whenever the hell we want. Most comps can't do that. The reason why we can is because who the hell's going to walk on us? That's what we want them to do. You want to walk into Rhine May Bastion? You see what I mean? So if they try to push us off of a corner, we would love them for them to try and do that. We're daring them to, right? So every single time that we chill at a corner, we get to chill there for as long as we want. That's a superpower for that comp. You chill until you're ready. You AFK until you are ready. And then when you are ready, you have shield cooldown to cross spaces like this. You have bash and turret form to punish people like this. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? All that makes sense?
So like, this also applies when you're on defense, right? Or does also apply when you're on?
It
'Cause I
mainly
think
applies on
Kings
attack
Row,
because you're
Kings Row, they're
taking
struggling on
space.
defense.
Yeah, the thing that I would usually say on defense is most of the time on defense you should use your cooldown second. I'm talking about tempo. So most of the times when you're playing defense with the Rhine comp, you're gonna let the enemy team engage first into you, and you're not gonna do anything until they do something to you. So you're playing very reactive in that sense, which is why I was saying, like, if you guys want to win on hotel, right? So let's picture that this is King's Row, and the objective is like over here. Oh god, you guys hear me? It's lagging again a little bit. Let's say statues over here and the objectives over here. Like, you're gonna play on this corner of hotel, then you're gonna rotate into that square, and you're gonna attack second. You're gonna counterattack them, not attack them first. Because if you play at this fuck, man. If you play at this corner of hotel, right, and the objective's here, and we rip our wall and our speed amp and our turret form and we try to engage on them, and they just kite away, then we are the ones who are on defense, and we're not going to be able to hold space, and we're going to lose the fight because they're going to counterattack us. Does that make sense? So, because we are on defense, we have space to give. The defender-sided team starts with the entire map as their own space, right? So, use that space, use it to kite and waste their resources, then go back in with superior resources. Does that answer your question, Sky? Yeah, most of the time, yes. It's not going to be that case with every single comp, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there are going to be instances where you have to engage first, but keep in mind, the way that I'm coaching you guys is not coaching you thinking that you guys are Overwatch League. I'm coaching you by building up good habits and good fundamentals. So from a fundamental perspective, if you're playing Brawl versus Brawl on King's Row defense, you usually are going to be tempoing second, yes. Especially if you have a Bastion and a Mei. Most of the time you are tempoing second. Because imagine how bad it would feel if you rip your turret form on defense and then you waste it and now there's an opening. Versus you never rip your turret form until they do something and they don't want to go in because they know you have turret form. Do you see the difference? So these guys on attack are like, shit, they still have turret form. Why isn't their Bastion using turret? Like, a lot of times on attack, you'll hear people say, hey guys, can we play to bait Bastion turret form? They want you to use your turret form first. You know what I mean? You guys ever heard that before? Like, bait the Bastion form, right? That is what people play for as a win condition. So don't give them the win condition. Hold on to it for as long as you possibly can. Until they hard commit, then you rip your turret form. And guess what? If they get your turret form out because they're hard committing, isn't that what Bastion wants? Don't you want them to be right up all up in your face so you can just rip them to shreds with turret form? You see how that works? So hold on to that bad boy and just tempo second, and you're good to go. You guys want to know the trick for first point Shambali? I'm going to teach it to you right now. You ready? Push the payload. If they don't drop and they stay up here, flip the map and steal the payload. If they do drop, speed amp to high and take high ground immediately. How simple is that? Pretty simple, right? So the idea is that a lot of teams who are playing really pokey, you guys are going to push the payload and you're going to be like, oh my god, I'm under so much pressure. I'm getting angled and getting poked and it feels so bad, right? Well, if you can get the payload to here, which you should be able to do with one of your DPS because the payload's going to like block your body, so it's really hard to shoot you. Push the payload to about here and then have your tank walk into here and play behind this wall. And then you can steal the payload and keep pushing it. And if they stay up here, then you guys can just flip the map and take angles over here and just bring the payload along with you, right? If, for example, we push the payload like this, their Sigma's going to drop. And when their Sigma drops, can Sigma fly? Does he have Winston jump? Does he have Diva? No, he can't. Exactly. So when their Sigma drops off this high ground, you have to realize he's committed to staying low ground. So when their Sig drops, that's when us, because we've been coached, we know what we're doing, we have a plan. The second we see that Sigma drops, we speed amp high ground. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a 5v4 situation. Now, we have 5 people going high. They have 4 people standing high ground. They don't have a fucking Sigma. So what are they going to do? They're going to die. They either die or they give space. And if they give space, that is good for us, right? In the first 20 seconds of this match, they should be dead or they should be out of here, which is really good because now we get the payload here to here for free. We get to like push into here, go for a wall here, go for kills. If they abandon and evacuate this space, then we just play Shambali like normal. But a lot of teams get stuck on first point Shambali on this like first attack. And a lot of teams make the mistake that we're doing right now where they go high ground. You know what's going to happen when we go high ground? We're walking into a 5v5 and we are not guaranteed to win that. We are having to walk through a choke into their Sigma. He's going to shield off our healers. He's going to hit a rock on our queen. You know, he's going to do a lot of damage down this choke. It's not going to feel good, right? That's why we don't greed for this first. We bait them to drop. And if they don't drop, we punish them by flipping the map. Make sense? we are forcing them to make a decision, right? If they start here and we scout that they're here, then like, which most teams are going to start with like literally 5 people up here. If they're starting there, then we go for this play. If their Sigma is on low ground and their backline's up here, what do you think we should do? Just go high ground immediately. Because the Sig's starting in a bad spot. If we speed amp to here, Sigma is not going to rotate fast enough to catch us. Also, a good player probably will. A good player will probably reach there just about the same time that you are, but I still think our comp would still get there first. So it's almost never a bad play for the attacker team to go for. But I'm talking like a super high elo player with insane game sense who's smart enough to look for your rotation early so he can start rotating early. That's what I coach my top teams to do. I coach my tank players to play here on defense. When do not drop until the payload reaches this corner. When it reaches this corner, drop. And if they stay on the payload, we should be able to win the fight on defense. The second they walk away, the second you see their tank walk away and break LOS, you should already be rotating high ground. That's how I coach defense for Shambali. But for the attacker side, you want to force them into that position. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. What is Zerlari doing? Wait, what are we doing?
It's popping off, man.
Guys, what the hell is this comp? I just noticed what we're running. What the hell is this, bro? Why do we have this character and this character in this comp? I would honestly say the best comp you guys can run here is probably going to be your typical Sig, May, Suji, Bap, and Lucio. Let's play that. You cover your brawl, you cover your poke, you got speed amp, you have really good ultimates. Just a great comp. Just play that, right? If you're gonna play the Mei, you'd rather be playing Sig, you know? And if you're gonna be playing the Tracer, you'd rather be playing like a Genji or something. You know what I mean? So these two characters don't really work well together in this comp. It feels a little bit awkward. Now Tracer did get turbo buffed, so you know. Yeah, so we're gonna lose this fight. All good. Let's move on. Wait a minute. Oh, we got a kill. What am I watching? What is this guy doing? What the fuck am I watching? What are they running? Bat Brig, Torb, Widow, Sig? Like what? I don't know what's going on right now. I got 2 of the comps of all time just in a slugfest. Good job, guys. Honestly, good kills. Tracer on payload's good. I like it. Nice. Zarya? What in the world? Nice wall. Great wall here. Come on, we win these. Let's go. Oh no, that's so sad. Okay, good try though. Good try. So when you guys are facing a Torb, a little like tip I can give you is try to destroy the turret in the neutral before we look to engage. Not that this was the reason why we lost the fight. I'm just saying it as a general thing. Whenever you're facing Torb, figure out where the turret is. Just shoot it from safety, from like a really safe location. Break it first, and then you can look to engage. Right? There's no point engaging, you know, with them having an advantage. You might as well take it away. But really good try on this wall. It was genuinely a great wall. Try. You know what would have killed this Zarya? Is if we didn't have a Tracer. Right? Like if we were playing, you know, a Soj Mei comp with Sig, this Zarya just completely dies there. Right? So we just didn't have enough damage and we didn't have the comp that was like able to output enough damage. Also, we might have missed some shots too. Like it's possible that we just missed a little bit and we didn't get all the damage that we could have. That's okay. That happens. Oh boy. All right, pop quiz. What's the best play?
Go through the building on the left.
Go here?
That's what
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah,
And
I
through
like that play.
building, so we end up behind them. Window,
Window?
matrix, you know, whatever.
I think it is called like amplification matrix. I'm pretty sure is the name for it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big name for it, but
Yeah. I love that idea. We flip the map here, we ignore them, we go take that space because we're very, very fast, and they are not. They do not have a Lucio. Instead, we take our tank and we walk through the window. We try to go for a really, really deep engage. We end up fighting them on their terms. We end up fighting them where they want to fight. Now our Lucio might C9. Aw, unfortunate. Good try. But yeah, that was definitely not the right engage from us. But I like the idea. You guys saw that very, very quickly, so good. I wouldn't have even minded if you guys just AFK'd as well. Like, I still like this rotation, but even if you guys just AFK'd here and didn't use Queen ult, I would still like that better, like infinitely better.
Waited out the
Just
Matrix
wait
and
out the
then
window.
engage.
It's not yeah, because this isn't doing anything. Wouldn't you rather engage on them when they don't have a window? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we do here. If we end up engaging from this spot, we're probably gonna have to hard commit to like a really, really fast engage, is what I'm guessing you guys are gonna do. And then the turret is gonna do a lot of damage to us. Do you see what I mean? Look at this. Remember I was saying break the turret in the neutral? It's not like a huge deal, but it is a substantial deal. Look at how much this little guy does. Watch this, ready? Shooting our Lucio, kills Lucio, kills Kiriko. You see what I mean? Like, it's just, you might as well break it early. And let's see. I also would really, really like it if we could get a wall up immediately. I think a wall here would be great. Something like that. Or even a wall back here wouldn't be too bad either to get the brig out. But we go for the wall too late and we don't get value out of it, which is a really, really big issue here. We have to get value out of this wall. There's no point playing this Mei. Oh, wait. No fucking way that worked. Oh my god. Okay. It did work. However, this is not a good Blizzard in my opinion. I don't like this Blizzard. Okay? We are down 2 supports. Do you know what you guys could do? Do you guys know what the best play here is?
To probably AFK behind that wall, like right to the left of where the Torb mat is, and wait on the healers
Over
to come
here?
back. No, to the left.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Closer to our
Okay.
spawn. Yeah, right there.
Somewhere over here. The correct play here is to die as quickly as possible. You know why? They used 3 ultimates. And we still have time to come back. You see the top of your screen, 48 seconds? That is more than enough time for us to come back. There's no reason to take this fight and even try to survive when they have Torbolt, window that was used, and sights used. All they have now is Rally and Zarya ult kind of coming up. But Zarya ult takes a long time to farm, so they're not even going to have that either, right? What you'll notice is when we come back, we have Beat, we have Blizzard, most importantly, and we have Pulse. Also, we shouldn't have used Queen ult here, but that's besides the point, right? So if we take this L, just take it. All good. We'll come back the next fight, and we have a bunch of ult economy, right? This is not guaranteed to get value, and we are down both supports. We should lose this fight, theoretically. They are just not very smart, so unfortunate. Like, the Zarya with bubbles is scared of Blizzard for some reason. I have no clue, but it did end up working. It wasn't the right play, though, so... I'm going to wager a guess that you guys struggled here. Okay, we swapped to the Bastion. Interesting swap. Not a bad swap. It's not horrible. I think it's about the same as the Mei. I think I like Mei actually a little bit more, but not too bad. This is when if you're playing Mei, you can literally just wall here and there's nothing they can possibly do. If we put a wall up here and speed amp forward, what are they going to do? Wall us? Oh wait, they're not playing real characters, so they don't have a wall. Are they going to turret form us? They're not playing real characters. They can't do anything about it. Can these players stop us if we speed amp onto them?
No.
What do you guys think? Absolutely not. No mobility, no, Queen shout, no Lucio speed amp. They got nothing. So if we have Mei here, exactly, you wall this off, there's no extra angle they can rotate to. It's going to take them 17 million years to come back to the fight, and by that time, you're already dead. And if we're playing Mei, these guys would get slowed. So it's even worse for them. Right? Something to think about. This is gonna feel very awkward if they're let to stay. If we let them stay there, it's gonna feel really, really bad to play here. Ash is gonna go for a big dynamite. And then once we start pushing this payload up, they're just gonna kind of like sit right here and shoot at us. It's not gonna feel very good. But maybe it works out with this beat. If we commit, maybe it works out. Okay, we're definitely gonna lose this fight. 0% chance that we win this, I think. Oh, maybe not. Their Ash isn't doing anything. Hold on. We actually kind of stabled. That was impressive. I'm not gonna lie. We kind of stabled. Okay. Whoa. No, my Bastion. No, my poor Bastion. Okay. So, don't get me wrong. Turret form plus this is strong as fuck. However, this is better. Okay? So, if we're playing Bastion here, I love the idea to be aggressive. However, they have window. And you are larger than most continents on Earth. So Bastion's hitbox is massive. Bro is gonna pop like a balloon, which is exactly what happens. Bro just collapses, just dies. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Sorry, it looks like she's looking for a grab soon. If she's smart, she won't use it. But we'll see. Oh, their BAP died. I didn't even notice. Oh, there's the grav. Nice, Suzu. Good work. Okay. You know what I would have really liked, you guys? I think a really cool play we could have made if we still had like a Mei or something, or maybe even without the Mei we could go for the play, is to somehow reach this Ash. Zarya can't hold space, right? So like, for example, if you try to walk past a Reinhardt, you're gonna get pinned or you're gonna get cleaved by swing. If you try to walk past an Orisa, you're gonna get speared or spun by javelin spin, right? If you try to walk past a Queen, you're gonna get axed. If you try to walk past a Hog, you're gonna get trapped and hooked. Almost every single tank in this game has the ability to bully people if they walk into their space. You know who can't? Zarya. If you walk across Zarya's face, there is nothing she can do except shoot you. That is it. Her only deterrent from you taking space is damage, which is why good Zaryas have to manage their bubbles and their energy to keep it as high as possible. I would know I am a Zarya main. Okay? So if we want to bully these guys, we actually have the ability to do that. We have the ability to simply like speed onto targets and just say, fuck you, man. I'm going to kill you because you're playing Zarya, you know? So we can look for opportunities like that, but we definitely would need different DPS characters. The Tracer would maybe work, but I don't think the Bastion would work very well. We would need something with some mobility. Maybe a Soj could work. Maybe a Genji could work. Even a Sombra. Even a Sombra might even work. And I hate Sombra, but Sombra might even work better. So, something to think about. In that fight, unfortunate. We come back. Okay, we die again. How did we die as Queen? What did we get hit by? Uh-oh. What did we get hit by? Oh, we stay right here. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. What is the play right now? What's the correct play?
Wait for the rest of the team and wait
Yep.
for HP.
100%. Good job. 1000%. All we need to do right now is my favorite word, AFK. Just AFK. Take your hands off the keyboard and mouse, just chillax, and you will win the game. What we do instead is we decide to go take space before our team is ready. We have no supports available. Notice, 0 supports available. And we go try to take space. And I will tell you right now, if we're ever playing this character, we do not want to use our shout before we're engaging. Are we engaging right now? We're not. Right? And that's when we'll need it, you know? And like this is like what, a 15-second cooldown, something along those lines. So when we use our shout here and then we go over here and then we're like, hey, let's go in, and then we start to push, we're like, wait a minute, we don't have our shout. And that shout was what gave us power. That shout is a really, really big cooldown for when we're actually engaging on the enemy team. And we don't have it available because we just used it here. When all we could have done was just wait for our team, you know? And then here, the reason why we die is not because they use Bob. It's not because they hit a good shot. It's not because of anything else but our own fault, right? Why are we engaging before we have HP? See what I mean? Are we ready to fight right now? No. We need to get healed. We need to get stable. We need to get our shout back. We need to get our tracer on a flank. We need my Bastion to have turret form. Where's my Lucio? We're not ready to fight, guys, and yet we're going in like we are. And what happens? We end up dying immediately. Right? And there's only 7 seconds left. We cannot fuck up this fight. We got to make this count, you know? So this is the sort of conditions that we need to have fulfilled in order to satisfy having a good fight, right? We need HP. We need our cooldowns. We need to be ready and prepared as a team. And here we are not ready and prepared as a team, okay? One of
I
us
think what happened
dies.
with this last
Yeah.
fight is we started getting nervous with the clock. 'Cause
Yeah,
were saying,
yeah, yeah.
we have 15 seconds. We need to go in like right now. Oh, we need to fight. When
Yeah,
we
I'm gonna be real with
probably
you.
need to
That's gonna
fight
happen a
overtime.
lot. That's gonna happen a lot. And you know, that's something that's it's hard to coach that, you know? Especially at the current level that you guys are at, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen on both sides. Very, very, very frequently. And as you scrim more, as you become a better player, as you become a bit more confident, you start to understand the game to a level where suddenly you're not worried about this. It's just another factor you need to calculate. It doesn't become something that is like a stressor to you, makes you anxious and stuff like that, which a lot of times people get affected by that. Have you guys ever been in a situation where it's about to go into overtime and we need to like touch the point and like 4 people go for the touch and we end up dying instead of it being like one person planned, second person planned, third person planned? You guys ever had that happen where like everyone goes for the touch? Very, very, very common problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the way that it works in high elo is people actually communicate. Even though it's super stressful and they only have a few seconds to talk, we still talk to each other and we communicate. Hey, I got first. I got first. Okay, I got second. I got second. I got third. I got third. I got fourth. Literally every single person in a high elo lobby is communicating exactly who is touching and who is not. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have it planned out to the 5th person who is touching, and we don't plan it out by being, you know, by planning it super in advance. Sometimes you have to do it in the moment. So the first person to say like I got touched should be probably your Lucio or your Tracer in this instance, right? It's going to be this person or this person. So first person to speak up, you got dibs. Tracer's going to say I got first. Your Lucio's going to go I got second. Somebody else is going to say okay, you're usually your tank, right? Your Queen's going to say yo I got third, right? Bastion, I got 4th. Kiri, I got 5th. And then this never happens, you know? Stuff like that. So, yeah, this is not looking too hot. I do like the Bastion ult from here, though. That's actually like, that's pretty funny that you managed to get that off. Uh-oh. That doesn't look healthy. All right, well. Could have been a little better. I'll try to speed this up. Got a little bit left to go. Okay. So this is an instance where if I'm blue team and I see the Reinhardt low ground, I'm gonna push the payload and I'm gonna go all the way to high, right? Okay. So we play this. Looks pretty okay so far. Nice. Really good turret form. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Nice wall too, guys. This is beautiful. This is great. You should be proud of this engage. This is great. Now, the only thing I would change to be slightly different is if we notice that our Bastion needs to swing pretty wide to retain LOS of the Orisa, we need to commit to getting this kill. This is a great opportunity for us. We can definitely do it. I need my Reinhardt to be here. I need my Reinhardt right on the edge, and for him to just do this. That's all you got to do. Just hold your shield up like you're doing, but just walk a little bit farther, and then this is perfect. You see how our Bastion's exposed? And he can just get shot by any of these guys. We don't want that to happen, right? But amazing turret form, amazing wall as well. Great wall. And we get the kill. This is great. This is fantastic. Really, really, really good engage. Did you guys notice how when we're playing a comp like this, we let the enemy team walk up and engage before we engaged? The only reason why this play worked is because we were patient. If we had used turret form early or wall early over here, we're not getting this kill. The reason why we got this kill is because we were patient. We allowed the Orisa to overextend first, and then we punished her immediately. Okay? That is what I'm talking about with like the second tempo sort of mindset. Okay? All right, here, we don't care about getting more kills. We need to play stable. We're up in resources. We play slow. Nice, good job. We're not greeding for more. That's really, really good. Okay, my Reinhardt needs to get their shield back to full. My Reinhardt needs to reset high ground. My Bastion needs to reset high ground. My BAP needs to reset high ground. Why are we on low ground? You know? If we're on low ground, they're going to go push our Mei out, and we're not going to be able to respond. Okay? Also, their Baptiste is taking an off angle. I don't know what the hell I'm seeing, but I mean, more power to you, I guess. Okay. Remember we just talked about tempoing second? This is going to be an example. I guarantee you we're going to get punished somehow for using this turret form early. Do you notice how when we turret form here, we don't get value out of it? Watch. You see? Now for the next 12 seconds, they have free reign to go wherever the hell they want. There's nothing stopping them. There's no danger of a Bastion that they have to respect. So now they're just going to go push up and hold W and take angles if they are smart, which we will see. They're playing a little slow, but, you know, I guess that makes sense with Alari and Ashe. Yeah, so their Ashe is making the correct play. Their Alari should not be stacked with the team. Their Alari should be here and setting up on this angle and shooting at us, but they're making a bad play. That's okay. Now we have the turret form back. Now we might be able to do something. If I'm making it a wall that goes about like this, maybe this Orisa can actually die. So we shall see. Go for that wall. Go for that wall. Oh, did we? Okay. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nice. I like this Valid. I like that Valid's willing to go push people off those off angles. That's great. That's going to serve you well in higher elo. It's really, really, really good. Yep. That's a good play. I like this too. I love this, guys. I fucking love this. You guys are playing like top 500s. This is sick. Look at this play. Look how sick that is. That is fucking dope. I love that. Even if you died here, I would have. Even if you died here, I would have still praised you for this. This is such a great play. I love that you guys are willing to be aggressive and force people off these angles. You're not playing passive. It is so much easier as a coach to teach people how to be less aggressive and how to like control that aggression versus to try and teach somebody who's passive how to be aggressive. You can't coach aggression. You can't instill aggression into somebody. It's really, really hard to do, right? This is great. This is great. Ego the fuck out of that Ashe. Get her out of here. Get this Alari out of here. Beautiful. Now Alari needs to die. Nice. Good. Hey, did we need the window? Probably not. But that's okay. We're making good plays. You guys are playing fantastic on this defense. You notice how after like 3 fights, the payload hasn't moved? This is a good defensive hold. This is what happens when you guys play well. This is looking really, really good. Like what elo is this team again?
This
I think
is
they're
a
similar to ours.
2.3.
Yeah, if you sent me this VOD and I just saw what I've seen now on Defender side, I would think you guys were at least like a low Masters team.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, I don't, and you know me, I don't bullshit. You can tell when I talk, I do not bullshit anything. So if I'm ever telling you that was dog shit, it probably was. And if I'm ever telling you, hey, that was great, it probably was, right? This is great Overwatch, guys. Now, keep in mind, I would still love it if we could reset high ground, because what are we not supposed to do with the Reinhardt composition? Split up. Look at where we are now, right? I would like it if we could go back to high ground so that there's not this danger here. Now, then again, it is a little bit easier for us to deal with because they are not running a Lucio because they don't understand compositions, and that is okay. I'm not expecting people to understand comps at this level, so that is fine. Most of the teams that you face, it's going to be mystery heroes. You guys aren't going to know what you're facing, and it just be like that sometimes. But what we can make sure we do, which I know Sky does a great job of writing down the comps that I say, right? If we can run really good comps, you guys are going to have such a massive advantage over these other teams because they are not coached. They don't know that this is a bad comp. That's why they're running it. It's not like they're intentionally trying to play bad, right? So they don't know the weaknesses of their comp, clearly. So if we can play the right comps, which we absolutely are right now, this is not the best comp in the game, but it's definitely a comp. Like, it's a comp that is viable and playable and is practiced and has good components to it and has good fundamentals to it. It's going to feel really good to play Overwatch, right? So you guys swapped your composition, and all of a sudden it feels like it's a good game. Like you can actually play. Yo, Steelmaker, my goat. Bro is tearing them to shreds by himself. I love it. I would still like us to get a little bit more value out of this turret form, which we would definitely be able to get more value out of the turret form if we had a wall comboed with it. right? Which is why, even though Steel is doing a fantastic job holding this flank and marking this angle, which I love, ideally we would
No
have
dog.
these two playing
Away,
together
dog.
here, right? So, something to consider. Okay, we don't get a lot of value out of our wall. We get hit by a bad window, right? So, you know what would have been a really, really cool play? You guys wanna know a little tip to like decimate teams with this character? Go for sneaky blizzards. And I know it's like a very general term, but I'll give you an example, right? Like if their team is gonna try to push the payload here, put 4 people here to bait them to look towards you. Have your Mei sit over here. And then when they rip this window, your Mei drops, blizzes, everybody dies. Or you could have 4 people over here. They're going to push the payload, right? They're going to be looking this way. And your Mei has been hiding in this room the entire time. And she swings, and she blizzes, and everybody dies. Or your Mei is over here, and she blizzes out this window, and everybody dies. Make sense? That is a play that is done at the absolute highest level of this game. The number 1 Mei player in the world in 2023 did this every single time that he ulted in Overwatch League. Every single time. If it works against Owl, pretty sure it's going to work in these scrims, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
sure people be doing wild stuff in these scrims.
Ooh, nice ultimate by their Alari. Kudos to their Alari for avoiding the Rhine shield. That's kind of tough to deal with. Okay. So do you guys notice how on this map, it feels a little bit like we were doing a great job of holding this space and holding this space, right? So these spaces were working together to like stop them from pushing the payload. And then all of a sudden, when we start to play more over here, it feels less comfortable. That's not a coincidence, right? Because now we're offering up the ability for them to control this and angle on us this way, right? If we play here as a team, they have so much like space to work with. They could be angled anywhere on this arc, right? Which is not going to feel very good to us. So that is why I would say we did a great job. But the reason why we're actually losing progress now, why we're getting pushed back, why it doesn't feel so good, is because we're not holding this space or we're not holding this space, right? We want to hold this. If they push the payload, we speed on top of them. Why? They don't have a Lucio. They also are running a very bad comp. So they cannot respond to you. They can't wall you. They can't turret you. There's no danger in walking on top of them. Okay? If they end up going high ground and trying to fight for that space, which is what they should be doing, getting their Alari Ash set up on an off angle, having these 3 stick together and push main, if they try to take this space, we're already up here, so you can't do that. And unless they have the macro knowledge that I gave you, which is baiting somebody to drop off high ground and then speed amping here, well, turns out they don't have a speed amp, so they can't even do that play. Basically, what I'm saying is that if we played this with the proper macro, I actually think it's unwinnable for blue team. I am serious. Unless they hit the biggest ultimate of their life with one of these ults, which definitely could happen, right? I'm not saying it couldn't happen. But if the fact that like your comp and the way you're playing is so good that the only way the enemy team can beat you is hoping for a miracle ultimate, you are doing something right. If you're forcing them into that position, you're doing something really, really good. And we have the power to do that. Now that you guys have had this VOD review, you can do it next time, right? It'll be great. Now we know how to play
And
this
like,
map.
I wrote down as much as like I could for you guys,
Nice.
and
Awesome.
I will do my best. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be doing my best to relay the information, but if like avail, if you can
Mhm.
just like upload like the VOD, I guess, or how much of you have of it to like YouTube or something. Because I think
Yeah, a lot of
I think the
people
information is
do
bigger
like
than
unlisted
incredibly valuable.
videos and then just like have that saved and it's really, really nice.
Yeah, just
Okay,
do
when we
just
go
do unlisted videos.
shatters, I like the idea of the shatter, but the problem is that our team's not postured in an area where we can follow up on the shatter, right? So shatter is an ultimate that requires follow up, right? Have you guys ever like hit an anti on the backline, but there's nobody to go kill the backline who got anti, so the anti's useless? That's kind of what happened here, right? We hit a big shatter, which is a great ultimate. Actually, I mean, it's actually not that great, but it's great if you can hit it, right? And you can stun a lot of people, and it's really, really nice because once they're stunned, they're like vulnerable for a really long time, right? But vulnerable to who? Because our Reinhardt's going to get marked by Orisa. We should know that, right? Orisa bullies Reinhardt physically. So Ryan's gonna have a really, really hard time walking through. Kind of like how I was saying, Zarya cannot stop you from walking. Orisa absolutely can stop you from walking. She's designed to stop you from walking, right? So we're gonna struggle to get value off of this shatter because we can't just walk through Orisa, and none of our teammates are peeking and ready to like go in with us from any sort of angle. See what I mean? So make sure that we're getting value out of our shatters by understanding our teammates' positioning, understanding the matchup too. Really hard to get value when their Orisa's just standing right there. Ideally, we wait for gold and then shatter when Orisa does not have it anymore. In an ideal world. Nice kill on Orisa. Great job. Uh-oh. So, what do you guys think is more valuable in this fight? Us losing our Lucio or them losing their Orisa? What's worse?
Losing the Orisa.
I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. There's 29 seconds left. We got to pick. Would you guys say that we are up in resources or we are down in resources?
We're definitely up.
Right? Because killing this Orisa was better for us than it was for them to kill our Lucio. So if we're up in resources, what's our protocol? What have we been taught to do? Play slow, which means this doesn't happen. See? We play too fast, right? We had to lose something to gain the kill on the Orisa most of the time. If you are getting a pick in this game, it's probably because you had to use some sort of resources. Like maybe our shield's low, maybe our HP is low on our Reinhardt, maybe our Mei doesn't have wall, doesn't have ice block, right? Which I know she doesn't have ice block because she used it to avoid the Orisa ult. So do you guys kind of see what I'm getting at? The Orisa ult, the Orisa kill, I'm sorry, was not for free. We had to use block, we had to use our HP. Some of our resources got drained to kill the Orisa, so we are not in a state where we should be looking to just instantly hard aggress and hold W. Are we up in resources? Absolutely. We killed the Orisa. That's great. That doesn't mean that we should be pushing with those resources and just throw them away. Stabilize with those resources, use it to your advantage. And if we get stable and they get stable, they're still down in Orisa. And we can just still walk on you. And then maybe get a stagger. Once we have our wall back and our turret form back, what if we just like wall one of them off, rip our turret form, get a stagger kill on one of these characters, and all of a sudden, they're coming in the last fight 4v5. You guys kind of visualize what I'm saying? Makes sense? Okay.
We also have ult advantage on them right now, so if we just played slower and just played
Yeah.
for our ultimates, we would definitely have. We do win this map, but we would have won right there instead of where we do.
Yeah, if we had been able to get a stagger kill, that would have been awesome. But most of the time, I'm going to tell you guys to not focus on stagger kills too much. In this scenario, it would have been great. That's obviously great thing to do is to be able to get those staggered kills. Obviously, not like staggering people. That's a different thing by itself. You should never do that in scrims. But if we happen to get staggered kills, that's great. It's awesome, right? But for the most part, I'm going to be recommending that you don't focus on getting more kills. I want to focus on really good fundamentals with you guys, because if you guys have good fundamentals in this game, it gives you that really nice base, that really nice foundation to succeed at the higher level. Okay. I don't mind the window. I like the idea. What I don't like is we're not comboing a wall. Because we're investing so much into this. We're investing our window, we're investing our turret form, our Reinhardt's playing up close so we can try to get value out of it. And over here, we got Steelmaker on a flank as Mei. When it's like, if we could hit a really good wall to trap them into our window, see what I mean? I feel like it'd be so much more valuable, wouldn't it? So we managed to trade basically turret and window for immortality, which isn't too bad. Okay. This is when we need to hit a wall on the choke. I don't think we even have wall, do we? Probably use it on the flank somehow. Yeah. The only reason why we didn't hard win this fight is because we didn't use our Mei wall, and then we actually end up losing our Mei, which is not great. So you guys win the fight anyways. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that's not really Mei's job. You know what I mean? Like that's not really Mei's. Like Mei can turn and shoot a flanker, that's fine. But to actually walk physically that far to mark the flanker is usually not so great. So there are certain scenarios where like May's actually a lot more flexible of a character than people give her credit for. There are times genuinely where like May needs to actually split from the team slightly to mark an angle, to mark the entry of like a character that's a threat. But I don't think May should be standing out here on this like balcony to mark the Ana. If anything, you'd be able to mark them from farther away, or just shoot at them, or just call them out, right? Just call out that the Ana's there, and then maybe we can disengage and go walk on Ana, for example, and just hold our Rhine shield so nobody gets slept, nobody gets antied, right? Something like that could work, just like a shield walk with speed amp. Or we can make the play where like, okay, Ana's flanking this way, they're down in Ana, let's ignore her and let's just go in on their core. You see what I mean? So I'm not saying that these are the best options ever, but that's kind of where your brain would instinctively go, right? Like figure out a different counterplay than just our May abandoning our team, because then we end up without our May and it's really, really bad. Okay, their Torb messes up his ultimate. That's really, really bad on their part. Wait, we win this fight?
We win this fight. We win the map.
No, you guys win. No, they C9'd.
Yeah.
So you do win, yeah. You won. Well, I mean, okay, this is basically winning the fight. If they C9, you won the fight. You know, like all good. You would have lost it, but they C9. So nice. Not too bad. All right, went a little bit over. That's okay. Typical Suji stuff. I'm gonna be real, but I just want to make sure that like, if you guys have any questions or stuff that you need to discuss, that I'm taking the time to do that little extra. So that's just on my free time. That's not like what I'm asked to do. I'm just doing that to help you guys out. So all good. Anybody have any questions before I head out here? Anything at all? Now is your chance. Okay. Sky, did you agree with most of the stuff that was said?
Yeah, I did. I think they did a very good job
Okay.
by explaining it. And I really think that this team is not. They're not really a 2.3. They definitely. I
Mhm.
do see them playing at a much higher level sometimes. It's just It's
Yeah.
just that their individual ranks. That's what makes this team like really low. But they're not actually this low of a team.
Yeah, no, I think from what little I've seen of you guys, I see a lot of potential with this squad. I don't know if you guys are like a set roster yet or something like that, but for your elo, you guys are doing really, really well.
They
And I think
pretty
that
much
like
are set. They're pretty much set in stone.
right.
Like yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I would just say I think you guys are off to a really, really good, really good start. Just keep practicing, keep at it. Reach out to coaches. Doesn't have to be me. You know, get that help that you need. Ask Sky for advice, stuff like that. You know, keep playing comp, stay active, don't get rusty. And I think you guys will go far in this game if you really want to. Everybody was at your elo, like at one point in their lives. There are some people who have not reached your elo yet. There are some people who have been out of your elo for years, right? So you're walking on the same path that everybody else is. You just need to stay committed to that process, you know? So everyone's been there, and if you guys keep working, I don't see why you can't be diamond. Like very, very soon. I don't see why you guys can't be a Masters team really, really soon. I just told you some of your gameplay unironically looked like a typical Masters team to me. I was like, wow, yeah, this team's definitely been coached, right? That stuff looked good. And you guys are just doing that by yourselves. So just keep at it, you know, don't get discouraged, and best of luck to y'all. If any of you guys have any questions or stuff that you want to talk about, anything you want to discuss, just shoot me a DM. I'll get back to you. I'm on top of that stuff pretty well, so just let me know. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is everything
Thank you,
from
Suji.
me.
We
No
hope to see you
worries.